Hi, I'm Ivan Galanin. Welcome to Educator. Today's episode is so important that I actually got my hair cut yesterday, so you wouldn't be distracted by my unruly hair. Today we discuss Retin-A, the gold standard, for the first time. I've got a lot to say about Retin-A. I think it represents the triumph of marketing over science. I think it represents the corruption of science in skincare. And what's most upsetting to me is that the medical community, the dermatologists, don't seem to have any interest in understanding the science of Retin-A. And how do I know that? Because I'm going to share with you papers that were published in peer reviewed journals that are damning of Retin-A, that create such questions about the utility of Retin-A. And most doctors are frankly unaware of that data. They have no idea. So that's troubling. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's focus today on understanding the utility of Retin-A for photoaging. And we're going to build a scorecard. We're going to look at the pros and the cons, the risks and the benefits. And we're going to lay them out, and you can decide. Does it make sense? Does using Retin-A for skin aging make sense? So here's the scorecard. The pro is that Retin-A produces a small temporary reduction in fine lines. And here are the cons. You see a loss of epidermis with long-term use of Retin-A. You see a loss of dermis. You see a loss of melanin. Pretty stark. So the scorecard is pretty stark, right? You're probably wondering, I thought Retin-A did more than just mitigate fine lines. I thought it did a lot more. Where's all the other stuff? Well, as we see, there is no other stuff. All that Retin-A can actually do is temporarily improve the appearance of fine lines. That's it. And what about the risks of using Retin-A? Right? You didn't know about those risks either. No dermatologist ever told you, be careful, because Retin-A will lead to melanin loss, and you'll lose epidermis, and you'll lose dermis. No dermatologist has ever told you about those risks of using Retin-A. Otherwise, you wouldn't use them. So now that you know, would you tell your friends, please take a look at the real benefit to risk ratio of Retin-A for aging? But before I ask you to draw a conclusion about the use of Retin-A, I want to show you the sources that I used to draw up this scorecard. The sources are unimpeachable. For the pro, we use actual documents from the FDA, from their approval decision. And we use the label, which is the official FDA position on the utility of Retin-A. We take the data for the cons from papers published by the biggest academic proponents of Retin-A, by the same academic medical labs that got Retin-A approved. And you'll see that the most damning evidence against Retin-A comes from the academic medical centers that got Retin-A approved. So this is the official label for Renova tretinoin cream, 2% concentration. And we see right here indications and usage. Renova is indicated as an adjunctive agent for use in the mitigation of fine facial wrinkles. See, the fine is underlined. So the FDA goes out of its way to say Renova does not eliminate wrinkles, repair sun-damaged skin, reverse photoaging, or restore more youthful or younger skin. They go even further. Renova has not demonstrated a mitigating effect on significant signs of chronic sunlight exposure, such as coarse or deep wrinkling, tactile roughness, mottled hyperpigmentation, wrinkles, laxity, keratinocytic atypia, melanocytic atypia, or dermal elastosis. So they're telling you these are all the things that Renova doesn't do. And the only thing it does is it mitigates fine facial wrinkles. Okay, so we said that Retin-A mitigates fine wrinkling. And here's the data from the FDA. And they judged fine wrinkling on a 10-point scale. So on a 10-point scale, Renova was zero point 0.4 points better than the control group. So less than half a point improvement. And this was the only thing that had a significant p-value. Fine wrinkling, less than half a point improvement relative to the comparator group. That's it. Okay, so let's look at the cons. This is from a paper from Balwan et al., published in the Journal of Dermatological Science, 1996, and they looked at biopsies. What changed after 12 months of Retin-A? What changed after 4 years of Retin-A? You see the epidermal thickness is up by 1% after a year, down by 11% after 4 years. Now, this is not significant. This is not statistically significant because this was a relatively small study. Look at the melanin content. The melanin content is down 94% after a year, still down 81% after 4 years. Melanin content, and this is papillary dermal thickness. The papillary part of the dermis is the upper part of the dermis, and it's reduced in thickness by 77% after 12 months and 65% after 4 years. So that's the Balwan paper. Now we're going to take a look at the Olson paper. This was published after the Balwan paper. And let's look at epidermal thickness at 48 weeks with the 0.5% cream. It's down by 6% epidermal thickness, and now it's statistically significant. Not significant with the lower strength cream. Melanin content down 83% with the higher strength cream, down 75% with the lower strength cream. Papillary dermal thickness down 18% with the higher strength cream, down 13%, not significant with the lower strength cream. So biopsy data, controlled studies published in Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology, reputable source, right? So those are the sources. Pretty straightforward, right? Reputable papers, clear, objective data, biopsies. Biopsies don't lie. Now, you're probably wondering, well, is he cherry picking? Is he ignoring data that's out there that tells a different story? And I can tell you, honestly, I am not. Because I looked. I knew that my reputation was on the line here. And I checked. I went to PubMed. I looked for any papers that were published after these papers came out that undermined these conclusions. And I found one paper. Cho et al. And if you go to my Medium blog post, the link to the Medium blog post is going to be in the description of the video. Please check it out. I have an extensive discussion of this Cho paper. This Cho paper represents the devious minds of academic dermatologists. They knew they had to cover up the real findings. They knew they had to do something to distract our attention. So they published this incredibly sly, devious attempt to get us to look away from the real damaging data. So why am I not more triumphant? Why am I not banging my chest and happy to present this? Because frankly, it's sad. It's sad to be in an industry, in the aesthetics industry, where such black and white data is ignored by 99.99% of dermatologists. And so this is why this channel exists. It's here so that you can make up your own mind. So you have the tools to understand the science for yourselves. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Take care.